Now, I would like to invite our special guest, Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Minister for Higher Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of Karnataka, to address our audience and shed some light on the practices Karnataka government is following to improve the education system.
Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Karnataka's IT Minister. Welcome to the ET government, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So the COVID-19 pandemic has taught all new and reimagine rising. Karnataka state is a global technology hub and is India's biggest technology destination. As an IT minister, what advantages do you see to accelerate the growth of technology industry and its future expansion plans in the state as well as in the global markets?
Since, as you rightly pointed out, sir, COVID-19 has given a great opportunity, though we have faced a lot of health issues. The digital acceleration has increased in a very big way. And now, since everything is getting digitalized, the healthcare, education, all possible services is getting digitalized. There's been a greatest opportunity for the technology and the innovation. It has become the greatest opportunity. Probably in this direction, the state of Karnataka, we are getting a huge opportunity. Now each and every person, earlier the services is to be provided through the many companies. Now each individual is trying to become an institution and they're getting outsourced and they're trying to get the services through these people, and product development also is happening in a very big way. And the startups and as well as the IT and ITS services is happening in a very big way. The digitalization, particularly because of the COVID, it has accelerated in a very big way and we are getting great opportunities.
So Bangalore is also known as the startup capital of India. The Garden City is home to 44% of all Indian unicorn startup companies as of 2020. What are your strategic initiatives in Startup India for further impetus, if you can?
With regard to the startup, as a culture, luckily we are now trying to make it as a culture. Everywhere, whatever challenges or the opportunities been given, it has to be taken up by the startups and work in this direction, proof of concept to commercialization. Many of the venture capitalists have established their base in the Bengaluru in the state of Karnataka. Thereby their investment, mentoring, support, angel investments and the government of Karnataka investment and promotion. And overall the ecosystem is built in such a way it has become conducive. Entire world is collaborating with the government of Karnataka and the various startups and various institutions in various levels. It has been happening. And in this direction, many of the programs been organized by the government of Karnataka, the Tech Summit, and by many other companies also. They've been doing an excellent job. Probably the government of India has taken a lot of initiatives to address the concern of the startups. Probably they have come out with many initiatives, which has been very favorable for the startup. Even the state of Karnataka, we have come out with many policies where the startup will be part of the procurement process of the state of Karnataka.
Thank you, sir. So biotechnology and science and technology have a strong presence in Karnataka. And if I may know, what is the contribution of the Karnataka during the COVID pandemic, essentially in the vaccination? And how do you see the roadmap for these markets?
Since biotechnology is ever evolving and it has been the futuristic, to address the agri sector or the agri sector, pharma, healthcare, and many other areas, particularly many areas, it has become the biggest source of strength and a solution. So biotechnology has been growing in the very big pace. Probably we are expecting the doubling of the revenues in the biotechnology. Now at present it is 26 billion US dollars. Probably within next 3 or 4 years, we're expecting it to double to the 55 billion. Probably it is a big growth will be there in biotech, as well as the area which you have been mentioning, the science and technology. Because of the science, the base during post-independence, probably the Bangalore emerged as a science capital, and most of the institution by government of India was established in Bangalore. That has led to the establishment of the base. The establishment of this science base has led to the growth of all these byproducts of innovation, technology, software, biotechnology. All these things are the offshoot of the tech science. Science has been from the time and again from the CV Vishweshwaraya ji or the Raja Ramanna and the Indian Institute of Science. The time when the Indian Institute of Science has been established, it has been growing rapidly. Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Advanced Studies, Dr. C.N.R. Rao, C.V. Raman, and Srinivas Ramanuja, many stalwarts have established an excellent base in the DRDO, precision technology, tool technology. And for that matter, all possible good institute of national eminence are all established in Bangalore. That is giving us a great growth. And we have been adding strength to that. And in this direction, we are further promoting science and technology, biotechnology in a very big way. So we have come out with many policies, particularly with regard to the biotechnology and with regard to the bioagronomics. We have come out with a very clear roadmap in which area, how to intervene, how to promote. And with regard to the science and technology also, we have come up with many policies, and we have planned to establish many of the frontier technology institutions, many more institutions from the state government also. From the state itself, we are planning many institutions, and national education policy also has come very handy. And this is the greatest opportunity for us to strengthen and promote the culture of research and development in all levels, the kind of concept learning or the critical or the creative thoughts needs to be promoted in a very big way. Whatever government of India is planning, it has come out with the National Research Foundation. Through that, we want to make the maximum use of it and ensure that a lot of research and development and science and technology grows in a very big way. And even to celebrate the Amrit Mahotsav, we are coming out to develop 4 satellites in our schools. The big satellites we are planning to develop in each division. It will be developed in the government school. 10 government schools will join together to develop in a satellite. So it will be the big thing. And in this direction, the satellite emphasizing satellite areas, and ISRO is there, space research also. Foreign direct investment has been allowed to 100%, defense investment 100%. Even in the defense, we'll be getting a lion's share, and probably will be defense, even in defense will be the biggest growth can be seen in the state of Karnataka. Sir. For many other good things will be thinking in the good things will be happening in the state of Karnataka, and will promote and ensure for the innovation, science and technology. The state of Karnataka will be always the leader, and when always we want to scale up and become the best place in the entire world.
Sir, apart from USA and European markets, do you see any futuristic markets for your governments to promote technology and science and technology and biotechnology?
Yes, I completely agree with you, sir. There's no other way. We need to perform. We need to perform, and we need to look up and work in the direction, because science, technology, innovation, this is where the money is there. And this is what is going to spur the growth. This is where it is going to increase the economy and thereby ensure the quality of living, and as well as the social justice, inclusiveness, equitable life. Everything can be seen through a right development of technology. Without that, we'll be nowhere. So our government, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, we are working very strongly, inspired by our national leader and our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, who has been encouraging all the states to grab this opportunity and work towards that. And probably we are very serious. And as you know very well, we are the first state. So anything has to happen, it has to happen through institutions, sir. More than industry, now we are trying to collaborate completely back to back with the industry. But institution, educational institution need to grow. That is where we get the right resource. And that's how the very culture and the very thought and the perception should grow among the youngsters. They can work towards that. We are trying to facilitate that.
Sir, my last question, sir. Sir, you are also holding very important portfolios like higher education and skill development entrepreneurship. Do you see any alignment of education and skill development with the industries that you hold and beyond that in Karnataka?
It's an excellent question, sir, and appropriate also. Sir, nothing can work in isolation, sir. Now we are completely, luckily I've been handling all three departments, and we have been working very closely. Now the national education policy also, the academic with the academic learning, now the skill needs to be integrated, which has been done now, sir. Now it is to be given separately. Now, along with the academic learning, the skill has been completely integrated. And as well as wherever possible, we are trying to integrate with the entire education system, even from the schooling. Now, urban spoke model, we are trying to work in the urban spoke model, ITIs, polytechnics, engineering institution, or any industry, any possible common facilities. People, the school children can look up and make use of those facilities. Let it be any college, degree college, any possible institution. Not necessarily they should have facilities, sir. They can make use of the facility, whatever is available in the surrounding vicinity, 24/7, 365 days. They can make use of that, the maximum utilization. Even if it is not available, we are willing to allow private sector also to come out with a common facility. This common facility, whatever is required for the academic activity, we are trying to promote, as well as the industry requirement, the industry ready, what they've been talking and advocating all the time, employability and the industry ready. In this direction, you'll be surprised. Now in this graduation, we have ensured the skill, what is required by the industry. We are tied up now with the NASSCOM, MEETI, and they'll be getting the digital skill, whatever required, artificial intelligence, big data, digital tools, everything will be taught in during their learning. It will be part of their exam. And as well as the industry syllabus has been, industry requirement also has been integrated in the syllabus curriculum. And internship also earlier, for example, in engineering, it used to be 4 weeks. Now it is 30 weeks, sir. Like this, we have completely revised the entire syllabus in graduation, polytechnic, and engineering. It is completely in collaboration with the industry, skill, and academia, and relevant to the 21st century and the futurist technology. Everything has been integrated, and they are getting ready to become employable and industry ready. And skills, everything has been provided on demand and supply. Whatever is the requirement of the industry, we are trying to get the people skilled in those lines. So it is not just skilling based on the demand and supply. And we have come out with a technology platform, Skill Connect, where the demand is mapped. Based on the demand, we are providing the skill.
So thank you very much, sir, talking to ET government.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Narayan, for sharing important updates with us. Now we'll proceed further for the closing remarks.